Hello, 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 welcome to the stream. Uh, I'm here and I'm back again with the this. Hello, hello. Okay, wait, I have to sort of. Yeah, hello, 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 welcome to the stream. Um, I'm back with some more Dark Souls 3 230 remastered, and yeah, yesterday was a ton of death, but I've defeated a boss very easily, I must say. Like just I bonked his head 2 or 3 times and he was just, no, I am dying. Anyway, by the way, see the color? My robes are infused. My robes are infused. Lassi is here. And yeah, the robes that reminds me of what is going around in my country right now. And I don't want to I don't think I want to talk about it right now. Stream. Uh, Maybe later. Okay. That's lots of bug on our journey for better. Let's begin our journey to the whatever world this is. Yeah. I think I'll put this on my. Oh no. Wait a sec. Yeah. I still haven't fixed the death counter. I don't think I died that many times, but I think I have died many times. So keep it here. And let's begin. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start with, getting some free souls. So yeah, I got my free souls here. There's the dragon tail. I don't have shoes. Thunder touches. Oh my god. Come here. Come here, bro. Come outside. To your death. Hmm. Why are you stuck there? I don't understand. Oh my god. Oh my god. Come here. Come here, man. Yeah, baby. Just attack. Yeah. Okay. Let's fight this rat. Rat man. Are you attacking me? Are you rat man? Are you coming for me? Oh my god. Oh my god. No, man. This sucks. Kinda sucks getting poisoned. Put so much effort and all I get is this. Can't slide. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Uh-uh. Okay. Don't. I have a big issue that some enemy will just come at me from behind nowhere and get me. You know, let's get some. Haha. Comfort. Yeah, okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? Bleh. Don't be blah on me. Oh my god, oh my god. There are two of them. There are two of them. Oh my god, no, 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 no. Okay, yeah. Avoided poison. Avoided poison. Come on, man. You know what? Maybe not here. You know what's up there. That is the only way. Oh wait, I don't think it's. Okay, no. I think it's going. Yeah, I thought that there would be some big enemy up there and I would gone. Young man. You got a lot. Come on, come on. Okay. I'm just gonna scooch by here. Yeah. Yeah, oh come in. Come in here, my. I know. I know you don't like me. I know that you want. Come on, come on. I'm open. I'm open. Come on. Come on. I'm open. Come on. Come at me, bro. Come at me. Okay, you know what you want, come. Okay, you are just scared little bitch. Bleh. Okay. Let's. Okay, I came here, but okay, that thing is armor there. Okay, is there no other way? But I don't want to die somewhere here because I can't be able to retrieve me shit. Yeah, come on. Let him go, man. You only need a light to burn, yeah. Only need a sun. Oh yeah, he's up. The up and coming enemy is very annoyed by my presence. Oh my god. Blah. I'm not gonna blah. Yeah. You're an armored thing. I there's fire and yeah, he's trying. Whoops. I was kidding. Um, I'm not looking to fight. Is there a way here? No. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, you idiot thing. Oof. Do I have to fight the... Yeah. Yeah, dude's healing. Oh my god. Oh wait, what's that? I hit him in the ass. Oh wait, there's a way. There's a way down, there's a way down. Okay. There is a way down. Oh, just to, I hope it doesn't chase me. Okay. Haha. Hey, I'm here. Okay. Oh, there are way too many. Okay. Liar ahead. Illusion. Okay, later, let's try. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely liar. Okay. The illusory wall, guys. I hate that. Okay, he's not attacking. Doesn't look like he's attacking me. Okay, yeah, he's attacking me. He's attacking me. He's attacking me. He's attacking me. Fuck, 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 fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Nobody, nobody told. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Bruh. Bye. Yeah. What? Bleh. Come on, man. I believe in you. Come at me, bro. No, 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 no. I want to pillage it. No, 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 no. Let me know. Let me know. Oh no, both of them. Oh no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Fuck. Didn't want to be poisoned. Come on, man. Man, this is ass. No. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh. You know what? It's okay. It's okay, I died somewhere. Oh wait, I saved. That's why I lost my retrieval thing. Man. Okay, no. It is there. Not bad. There. Oh no 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 no. Little ass. That fucking ass, man. But you are really shitty. I hate, I hate, I hate these mouses. What? You know what? I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna go to the shop, get some throwing knives. Gonna- I can save again. I'll be honest. I don't care.
Oh, there you are. Still keeping your marbles all together? Then go ahead, don't be a nitwit. Never hurts to splurge when your days are numbered. Oh, thank you very much. Come back soon.
Let me go. Okay, now we are talking. This cheap ass weapon. I mean, come on. Ah, okay. Let's make our money back. You know. Yeah. Now we got money back for. Can I just keep? Bruh. Yeah. Let's see the items. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You asshole. You asshole. You got me poisoned again, man. But I need to do something about it. My god. Oh my god. I hate that. I hate this. I, I hate this fucking mouses. These rats. Bruh. Bruh, 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 bruh. Are you kidding with me? It's just joke, man. I'm kind of stuck here. The game lagging. Why? Whenever I try to attack. My god. Okay. 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 Okay, I got it. I still got it. Still have it. Still have something. Let's kill the brother. Come on, man. I know you want to. I know you're looking to attack me. Oh my god. I'm stuck here, man. I'm stuck here. These fucking rants are just not letting me proceed. Man, sucks, man. Let's see if I can level up or something. Okay. Now we. Okay. No, let's come. itself down. Let's get some free stuff first. Let's stay calm. Stay calm. Okay. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Oh. Okay, yeah, that was stressful. Now the third one will not poison me. Okay, yeah. Oh my god. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. What? No, no, no. Have to retrieve. Have to retrieve that thing. Video retriever. Okay. I don't want to. Come on, man. Doesn't register my collect for some reason. Oh yeah. Oh no, no. Okay, yeah. I want that. That's I didn't get my skin back, man. Come on, I thought I saved it. Come here. Yeah, there's a scary guy there. Oh my god, my god. What big ass asshole. Okay. Cheers, man. Like, bro, cheers me. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna lose all my souls here. Okay. I'm gonna end this easily. I don't want to take unnecessary fight. No. Yeah. Good thing. I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it. Not playing. I'm gonna look at. That just makes me angry, man. Okay, let's do some puzzles. I can go there if there's a blending. No. Oh my god. No. No. I can go there. If I do this, then here do that, then yeah, it's useless. Huh. But that was just, by the way, like, oh my god. Let's do something that takes like a long time. Okay. I can go there actually. His horse will be just insanely confused. Ah, okay, I think he's trying to do this so he can sort of do this. I can push this. Mm, Padrón. You want not. Ah, too sad to know. You lose your queen. Wow, wow, wow. We'll do this. Do this, I guess. We can go there now. Can put himself here. Okay. You'll have to take this if you want to. Then I can do this. You'll have that. Don't tell me you're gonna do this. I mean, you can go there. Oh my god. Oh, that's a good one. Hmm. You could have gone there, but could have scared me. But yeah. Are you watching the stream? Free Palestine, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, just. Oh my god. Oof. Yeah, that's a mistake. Oh my God. I got your queen. Oh. Okay, even if there's a possibility he would play any move, this pre move is just going to become useless. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Probably go somewhere there. Or maybe not. Czechoslovakia. What, you can go there? I'll take that. Or I can go there. These two square will be taken, but I can't go there anymore. So that's just useless. मेरा दिल का आता है और बाकी चला जाता है. Oh yeah, good game rematch. Rule breaker, okay man. Yeah. What are the chances? Oh, I don't have a horse to be honest for the Greek gift. Uh, if it comes here, I can take it. Hmm, I knew you would do some dumb shit like this. You'll do this. Can get the. Yeah, that's honestly, I'm not really bothered. Now you just got your horse stuck. Uh, okay. Okay, if I go there, then he'll take this. Then I can. Yeah, I don't have. Don't have much to do here. I can bring this out. I'm just annoying the guy. Oh, I didn't see this. It's okay. Oh, you can do this. But you know, get this. Okay. Okay, yeah. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, you're doing that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I don't think you saw my saw my feet. Okay. Oh my god. This is this is not ideal, my friend. Try to break a rule. Play again. Okay. Okay, man. Don't tell me you're gonna do an opening with like 1 minute of thinking. God. Opening doesn't make the game. Nemo wish Stephens. Nimzom with. Okay, I see you. Hmm, that's nice. Ah. Ah. Yeah. Can go there. Ooh, you can go there. Hmm. can go there, and if it goes there, then there. Okay. Yeah. I see you. The only place you can go is here. Running on, running on. Mm, 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 mm. Oof. Mm, mm. I see you. I see you. It's stressful and usual. Well, it's okay because it's very usual. Feel like I made a mistake. Oh no, no, I didn't want to play that move. Oh shit. Okay. That's cool, that's cool. What could I have done here? Could have gone there, he would have taken that, would have done that, then you would have taken that. That would have done that, then that would be a mate. Okay. I had the 613. Like, this is a force move, right? Hmm. This is a force move. Wait, how? Oh, could have done that. Could have done that, I guess. And I run there. Okay, thanks, man. I would have been just fighting with like two pieces. That would not have been very, Yeah, man, 5.5. That's a weird maths. I guess I had like narrow amount of moves to play. I don't think you're on stream. Okay. Why you gotta do that? Oh, that's cool. Mathematics is not the best thing to. I'll have to long castle because I have the long castle. Could be there. You take it and do this. That's just useless. Can have to do something. Okay. You don't have the vision, The vision. You lack the vision. Lack the strength to do the powerful thing, you know. Sticky, sticky, sticky taco. You eat sticky taco. You eat sticky taco. No, you could have done that. Okay. Even if it does this, I can do this. Then to bring this. Lack the vision board, my friend. Dan Dan. Okay, yeah. You just ruined it all. Oh my god. Oh my god. God. Okay, I'm really proud of this game. I deserve to use my game review on something really good. Okay.
Way to finish off the game, accurately converting your endgame advantage into a win.
Oh my god.
Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces. You won a pawn for free. That was a critical position with only one good move, but you moved quickly and missed it. This moves the rook to safety. You escape the check from the... This overlooks a better way to move a rook to... Nice find. You found the only... This gives away a free rook. You captured that free rook. Pushing a passed pawn. This move makes your bishop much more effective. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. You captured a free pawn.
Nice. What was a great move.
There was only
that.
one good move and you found it. You dodged the check, moving your king out of harm's way.
You see the graph. Look at it. Such a beauty. Okay. Let's just move on to some just chatting. Um, start with word. No. Okay, let's start with a deer. Mm. Okay, I haven't used. Oh, Ooh. Okay, okay, okay. I see. I see. I see. Let me just put on some music. Forgot some music. Mm-hmm. Okay. MA. Oh. Okay. It cannot be macro. Okay. There is no macho. How about macho? Macho is a word. Ah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. How do I cross this? No. Ah. You know, I hate you. Hate you for doing this to me. Okay. Let me just put it on it and call me back. Calls you. Oh my god. Until party. Expected. Blended. Get the departure. There's some luck involved, I would say. Yeah, that is also scary. Eesh. I won. Nothing related to 4. Okay, running is close, but not very close. Oh my god. AGLET, don't know. The fuck? You're a fraud context, sir. You're a fraud. Oops. Leather. I did just close something that has to do with brands. Two more. No, the sport. Is it Jordan? They're a fraud. What else could it be? What else could it be? I wrote all the major band. Major. I wrote all the major stuffs. What else is there? Does it have to do with marathon? Hmm. Those. Grass. What else can it be? I hate context, so I will say. I hate context. Bike. What does that have to do with tire? Pedal. Gear. Okay, gear is close. Chain. Not chain. The context is weird, man. Give up. How is that related to bike? Okay, what the fuck? How is that related to bike? The skateboard. How is it related to fucking idiot, man? You don't know how to make games, man. Let's see.
You know, You know, after the emotional roller coaster that was these 3 episodes, it is somewhat wild to me that if I wanted to technically follow this up, I should put on an episode of Star Wars Rebels. That that just hits me weird. Hello, interwebs. I hope you are all doing well because I am here to review the latest block of episodes from Star Wars Andor Season 2, this time episodes 7 through 9. And I am just going to put this right up front. I thought that especially episodes 8 and 9 were some of the best television that I have ever seen. I'm not necessarily going to call it enjoyable, especially episode 8, because episode 8 was frankly a harrowing watch, and one that I even needed to like take a moment to step away from after watching it, because it was a really rough watch, but that was very much the intention, and it was executed so amazingly, both on a character level and a political level, a thematic level, an artistic level. Just all of it was beautiful. And then we get episode 9, which is also harrowing and exciting and puts a lot of the themes on a grander stage and context that feels very pointed with what's happening not only throughout history, but today, right now, and locks eyes with what's happening today and speaks to it in a way that I think science fiction fiction does best. And this, to me, is the epitome of what Star Wars, when it's firing on all cylinders, can do. How it can take its anti-fascist message and how it links through historical markers of fascism, authoritarianism, oppression, imperialism, and tie them all into a sort of palimpsest that points directly at things that we need to look at today. And it does, again, so in such a harrowing way, an electric way, but also a way that hones in on characters in such a emotional, gut-punchy way. How many times can I say way? That I absolutely loved it. I have a couple quibbles and quabbles here and there, but I certainly don't have any major issues with it like I did with the ending of last week's group of episodes. This was just flat out fantastic. And I should get into the specifics in just a second instead of just heaping praise on these episodes. But I will also say, just to make it clear because of my opening joke there, I'm not necessarily disparaging Star Wars Rebels. I actually generally like Star Wars Rebels on the whole for the most part. It's just weird to me that there's like clear allusions, especially in episode 9, to like set up the Star Wars Rebels episode where Mon Mothma escapes Coruscant and sort of gets to Yavin in that episode. And it's just sort of like, oh, I guess you should go watch the Star Wars Rebels after watching this harrowing episode about about the ramifications of genocide and anti-fascism. Rebels also kind of does that, but in a much more kid-friendly way, I guess is the best way to put it. And it's just totally a little bit different. So it just kind of rejiggers my mind a little bit when I'm like, oh yeah, this is referencing the Rebels stuff there. just funny to me. So yeah, just not a disparagement of Rebels. Let's just really talk about Andor and get into some specifics here. I am going to talk a little bit first about some of my just a little bit of like quibbles with the episode that I alluded to a second ago. Why am I saying quibbles? That's such a weird. It's better than quabbles, I guess. Whatever. Anyways, my only real big thing is I can feel a little bit in especially this first episode of these three, the sped up timetable of the show. Obviously, as I've already said in other reviews, this season of Andor was meant to be 5 or I guess 4 seasons with one season per year. We're not getting in compressed 3 episodes. And while these episodes in and of themselves are phenomenal, as I've already said, there are little pieces of connective tissue that I'm like, I wish I had gotten to see a little bit of that. Like, for example, we have a scene between Bix and Vel in this, I think the first of the 3 episodes, and it's you get the sense of connection between those 2 characters, and yet to my memory, I don't think they've ever shared the screen together. They may have, but it was briefly and not super memorable or character forward. I would be shocked. I legitimately cannot remember. And so it's like, oh, this scene isn't relying too hard on their sort of assumed relationship between seasons, but it does a little bit. And it's like, I would have liked a little bit of that time between the 2 of them. There's just a couple other little things here and there that I would have liked to see. Like, for example, the setting up of Yavin that we have here. I would have liked to actually see what happened with Yavin in terms of organization between the first 3 groups of episodes of this season and these 3 episodes, because we sort of got Yavin in 2 very different places between those 2 episodes. And not that I needed like a whole thing on it, but it feels like, if we had gotten a season per year, that would be something we would have gotten to see a little bit more of, and I would have liked to. I thought that would have been interesting to check out. Obviously, it's not necessary. It's a little bit of background flavor, and the show focuses rightly on what it needs to focus on for these 3 episodes. But there's just little pieces like that where I'm like, oh yeah, that would have been nice to see. That being said, there are moments where the time skip really works in this show's favor, and that comes a lot from Gorman, because there's such a clear contrast between where we left Gorman last group of episodes and this group of episodes, and how much it has been just.
And whoops. Okay, so Andor does one thing that, and during the Gorman, it doesn't really show like what happened between Cyril and the rebels there, but it's kind of understood that they know that he betrayed them and they are angry at him. That's kind of clear. That's it is kind of cool that they don't really show it, but they can communicate what might have happened. Just through
pounded down by the constant fighting on the planet. You just see such a stark difference, both politically and just on the ground, of how these people have been torn apart. I loved that scene where we can see the insurgency group fighting with itself, basically being like, we should have, I think it's Rylance, where he says, we should do it peacefully, and other people saying like, no, we need to keep pushing this thing. And Rylance being like, that's exactly what they want. It's what they're trying to stoke. And I love that one guy. I think it's the same guy from the end of last group of episodes who kind of was in that fight that led to Sintra's death. I like seeing that he was now a part of this group. Him sort of saying like, no, we are the Gore. We need to be unified. If they take away our cultural solidarity, then what is there to save anyways? And that is right. And it's part of exactly what imperial movements try to do. They try to segment groups off. We're seeing it today quite clearly. So many leftist groups are, especially in online spaces, which I don't really think is the best place to organize anyways, but you see a lot of like infighting being caused when instead of solidarity, because of exactly this type of thing of how fascism tries to sort of segment groups off, and this infighting gets caused. And so I like that message being stated here quite overtly. And then we also get the contrast to the Gorman senator that Mon Mothma sees several times throughout these episodes, and we see such a clear contrast to him in last group, where he was clearly feeling isolated, but he had a sense of like identity, and here he's just kind of beaten down, being like, oh yeah, disappointing legislation is not the thing that gets me most upset these days. And you just see how defeated and isolated he is, and how Mothma feels really ineffective as a senator, and can't really do much to help him or acknowledge him, even though she wants to and is trying to through the system that's in front of her. I thought that distinction was a really, really great distinction to show, and was to this season's structural strength that it showed that distinction so clearly. I also generally liked Cassian's place in this first episode, where he's clearly just worn down and he wants to hold on to his relationship with Bix. Like, he has a good thing. It's subtly different from what he was trying to do in season 1, because season 1 he didn't want to join the rebellion, and he just wanted to like, I'm going to take my own and have my own and just go and live my own life. I don't want to deal with the Empire. I just want to handle it. And here it's less that he doesn't want to deal with it. It's more that he's been worn down by it, and he wants to hold on to the good thing that he has, which is his relationship with Bix. And I like that. And I also really love the scene with the Force healer as well. It's nice to see the Force healers and that sort of being an evoked thing here, and her kind of talking to Bix and being like, he carries a lot of this like weight on his shoulder. He's gathering things, as they say. He feels the weight of
when Bix took Andor to the Force hill, it reminded me like another astrology loving girlfriend, and guys who just hate astrology, those kind, them having them being a couple, that reminded a scene that dynamics.
Of the not even just the past, but like the weight of the rebellion in like the future that he feels like he's responsible for building on his shoulders, and how he just wants to go with Bix, and Bix feels responsible for that. I will say, and this is going to circle back around to the end of episode 9. I don't particularly always love the kind of trope of like, oh, it's the woman who's the distraction for the guy, and she kind of needs to go away for him to pursue his destiny. It's emotionally done really well here. Like, it actually did get me in episode 9 when she does choose to leave him. No, I'm jumping ahead, but I'll just address it. When she does choose to leave him so that he can focus on the rebellion, and I like that it's implied, and I wish we got a more direct response to this, like that she's not going off to just be like, I'm leaving to go live in a pastoral place until you, so you can complete your destiny. It's implied that she's going off to like do rebellion shit, and I hope that that is ultimately the case. I wish we could see that, and I think that that's ultimately kind of my problem. It just sort of places her in this sort of like, oh, woman has to go away for the man's journey. She's a distraction, and she has to realize that. It's a frame.
Okay, it is so funny if they just come out with Bix has a new show. Oh my god.
Of women that I don't particularly love all that much, and I wish that if they were going to go that route, we had gotten a little bit more centering of like, oh, look, Bix is going to go actively do things, and we can see her actively do things. Hopefully we will in the next 3 episodes. I will be somewhat disappointed if like all that happens is like we focus on Andor for the next 3 episodes, and then we sort of set off to Rogue One, and then we get like a jump ahead maybe in the final scene of the episode of the series finale next week, and Bix just happens to show up as Scarif and find like the spot where like the crater where the Death Star sort of obliterated Cassian. Like, I really hope that's not the last we see of like the only moment we see Bix next 3 episodes. I hope we get to see her do things. And if we do that, if we do see her do rebellion things, then my problem will be lessened with this. Otherwise, it just sort of is this framing of women of like, oh, they need to go off. That being said, and I will be clear about this, like it's a trope that I don't particularly like. It's a framing of women and usage of women I don't particularly love, and especially since Bix has been a character who's been like, her trauma is the only thing that's really been centralized this past, this entire season, really. And how she's sort of been like a tether or pull or antagonist to like what Cassian needs to do. It is, but for them choosing to follow that route with her character, I think it's really effectively done. Like, it is well handled for that choice. And when she chooses to leave him, it like got me choked up. And you could feel the weight of Cassian just upset that she's gone. Like, and I want my Cassian boy to have good things. The boy deserves good things, and I know he's not going to get them. And especially that line where she says,
that's a good point.
I'll see you when the rebellion's over, and we know she's probably not.
Yeah, I do want to see Bix do some. I want to see Bix do something like badass, because the only thing she did was like get that guy who was like torturing her. That's all she did, and also we didn't see how she got in and all, because that would be, seeing a whole mission just from Bix would be just really cool.
Given what happens in Rogue One, which is heartbreaking. So it got me. It's effective, but it's just not a trope that I particularly love with the usage of women. I guess it's just the thing that I'll leave it at. All that being said, though, kind of addressing the Rogue One stuff, what I also really loved, and especially getting into the second episode of these two, which is really the centerpiece of this whole group of episodes, is just the sense of dread and inevitability. If you are a giant Star Wars nerd like me, you knew that the Gorman Massacre was a thing that was coming. Like, it was referenced in Star Wars Rebels. It's been referenced in a few things here and there for Star Wars as like the thing that caused Mon Mothma to choose to leave and go and join the rebellion overtly. We saw that in Star Wars Rebels, the episode that I alluded to earlier. And so we knew it was coming, but unlike sometimes where like, oh, as a nerd, you knowing a certain event is happening might sort of undercut like, oh, I know what's happening, so I know it's going to go, and kind of can alleviate the tension here. No, the show uses it to its benefit to say like, no, everyone knows what's about to happen, especially on the Empire side. We know where it's going, and a lot of the Gormans do, like Rylix, kind of know what's happened to, even presumably Cassian, that this is all leading to a genocide. And it's just framed as an inevitability in a large sense by the episode, and it's just building and building up to it until it finally releases, and it's dark as fuck, as well as it should be, because it is a genocide. It is a genocide that has been, they've been gathering consent for through their propaganda, as we see throughout the episode of like, oh, they're breaking Imperial norms, they're terrorists, they're insurgents, that we see throughout the repeated propaganda that the Imperial news is showing, and just that they've been building in terms of like Dedra, like building up the mining stuff and everything they've been doing on Gorman. So that sense of inevitability plays well in this episode's favor, just because of the sense of dread that you feel of like, oh, I know where this is going, and it's nowhere fucking good, and it's awful. And that especially gets shown in, I love Dedra this episode, because she's awful. And make clear it is awful. And it's always a hard line to show some level of emotional sympathy to a fascist character like her, because it runs the risk of making you feel like, oh, I feel so sorry for her, and giving us too much love for her, too much caring, too much sympathy for her, I guess, when she's the one carrying out a fucking genocide. But I think this episode walks that line so well, where we see she She knows what's happening, and she doesn't necessarily want to do it, but she will, because she's just stuck in the system. She even kind of gives that thing to Cyril later on when he says, "What have you done?" And she says, "Following orders." She's just following orders because that's the enticement. She's enticed with the carrot of her getting her.
By the way, that line about following orders, yeah, it reminded me how like few few people in World War II sort of justified why they did terrible things. Because yeah, we were just following orders. That's all we were doing. And yeah, I think kind of like a very half-assed explanation, but I guess.
From Partagas, like she's gonna get her promotion, she's gonna move up, she's gonna get everything that she was told that she should want as a nice little fascist girl, and she's gonna follow along because that's the system that she has been placed in since she was born and what she was raised in and what she was told to want, and she doesn't have any other way out of it. And she could choose not to. She could choose not to do those things, but you see her justifying it to herself, and it costs her the things that she actually does care about, like her soul and Cyril Karn of all things, the man that she surprisingly loves. And that breakdown that she has at the end of the genocide. And I'll talk about that. I'm kind of skipping around a little bit, but like at the breakdown at the end, you just feel like how this system tears away her humanity too for her causing that. I don't necessarily care. I don't really care. I don't necessarily feel like, oh, how sad for you. But it's also showing a truth of how these fascist systems dehumanize everyone, every single person, even the people who are carrying it out. They carry the trauma and genocide of it, as well they should. It's going to leave scars that they themselves are opening. Fuck them. But it's important to recognize that too, what these systems, how they dehumanize everyone and elucidate everyone to do these terrible things. So fuck her. To be very clear, but I think the show walks the line of being very clear, fuck her, but not going too far, but still showing a truth of these things. And that goes for Cyril Karn, who is fascinating these episodes. Man, it's so interesting to see him having grown a little bit of a conscience and by proximity to the Gormans, and also Dedra lying to him. And telling him like, oh, you're just helping with us insurgents, not telling that he's basically helping build, an engine of genocide. Both the Death Star that's going to be, I'm assuming this mineral that they're getting from Gorman is being used to build the Death Star, presumably because Krennic's is in charge of that project. But also the fact that he was helping to, garner, push people towards garnering consent for a genocide by the wider galactic, public opinion that he was sort of working for with the ISB by sort of pushing the Gormans and getting information for the Gormans to the ISB. So you see him like having grown a conscience and realizing what he's done. And I love that when the genocide is happening and everything's going down, we just sit with him in the middle of it all and we see it going on around him and we see the weight of like, oh, I caused this. And again, you see like, I love the whole, building of dread. Like he goes into that room, there's the K2 droids and K2SO is there, but the K2 droids, KX droids, I guess they're called, in there, and he's like, oh shit, oh, I know what's happening here. I know what I've done. And I love Rylak calling him out. It's like, what kind of creature are you? Is such a good line. Because like he's willfully remaining ignorant of these things until he really can't. And he helped it. And he may feel bad about it, but he helped cause it. And he, again, just cared about the promotions without realizing what he was ultimately contributing to. He was not he was kept in the dark a little bit more than Dedra was, obviously, but he still contributed to it. And you feel that weight on that. And I love that moment where he has that fight with Cassian. He like looks over and Cassian's just there. The man who, in his mind, caused all of this, led him to this path. And he just, like, it doesn't even make sense anymore for him to attack Cassian, right? Like, if you think about the politics of it and everything, like, it doesn't really make sense. But, like, it makes sense to him emotionally because it's the only thing of control that he has. He's like, oh, the guy that fucking caused all of this for me is there. Let's do it. It's a moment where he can take control and be like, I'm going to kill this guy. And I think he feels a sense of like, oh, look, this will make things worthwhile. I have done something. I completed something. And you can feel that in the moment when Cassian looks at him and says, who are you? And he pauses and he gets killed for it, for that pause. But it's just that moment. It's so good where he realizes like, oh, like I am so inconsequential. No one gives a fuck. Like Dedra kind of did. But at the end of the day, all of these systems that I gave my life to as a true believer, ultimately over and over and over again, wanting to be rewarded, wanting to just be, that's all he wanted, really. He wanted to be seen. He wanted to be remembered. He wanted to feel like he was worthwhile. And, that's a lot of what fascists feel, this sort of emasculization that they're constantly made to feel and that they need to give themselves to become a glorious hero for the system. That's what a lot of fascists that sort of do that, like, believe and want. And so that last moment where he just sort of gets, who are you? And he realizes that he gets none of that heroism and the things he was promised. He just gets to be the one who caused a genocide and die an enemy, even to the man that he thinks is his worst enemy. His great other that he needs to take down. Doesn't even know who the fuck he is. So yeah, poetic. Cyril deserves that. He absolutely fucking deserves that. And again, it walks that line as Dedra, where he, we have a little bit of sympathy for him, but ultimately at the end of the day, was a little fascist boy trying to play hero, and he deserves what he got, even if we can understand how he got there. Yeah. So just an absolutely great arc there. Some other tiny things here. I love Cassian's whole thing in here, where he just he wants to go and free or kill Dedra and trying to get her, but then he just sort of gets stuck in all the rest of all this. I love his stuff with the bellhop. I love the bellhop's on his, like, recognizes him and sort of covers for him to a degree. And I also love that the bellhop gets the line, rebellions are built on hope or something like that, which is a similar line. I think it's the exact same line that Jyn Erso then uses in Rogue One, which is an interesting tie. I don't know. I believe Jyn says that scene in a scene that Cassian's not in. I need to rewatch it. I've been avoiding watching Rogue One because I wanted to watch it after season 2, so I'll double check that. But I don't think she's in that scene. But I think it sort of alludes to the fact that, like, oh, there's these ideas that all people are sort of feeling, and it's also kind of why Cassian kind of trusts Jyn in Rogue One and sort of gets her to a degree. Also, I misremembered last week for some reason. I mentioned, like, Bix is kind of probably out of the picture because, Cassian and Jyn are an item in Rogue One. For some weird reason, I thought that way. I think the reason is I know there's a version of the movie, I think from the reshoots, where where Jyn and Cassian kissed right before the Death Star killed them all. I think the actual version of the movie, again, I haven't rewatched it, they don't, but there was a version that did, and I think it was in the trailers or something like that. There's some version of it exists somewhere that I saw, and so I seem to remember, like, I think that's how they died, but I don't think that's the actual canonical version of it. It's just the reshoot nonsense that we didn't get, like that TIE fighter that comes up in that one shot from the trailers that we never saw in the actual movie from the reshoots. So I like weirdly had a Mandela effect moment there. So it was just my mistake for remembering it that way. But anyways, speaking of Cassian, going back to him, I really liked his element in this, and where he takes out, like, the K2 droid when they come out and start knocking people and getting people out of the way. It's just terrifying, and how he manages to take it with him, and it leads to K2SO at the end of the next episode being woken up. It's like, hey, look, it's K2 boy, his replacement for Bix. Kind of. It's like, well, I can't get the girl, I guess I'll have a little droid buddy.
And actually, a replacement for B2MO.
Piece there. But I've been kind of dancing around it.
B2,
Let's talk about the actual genocide. Like, it was really, really rough watching it, again, because the inevitability, and knowing that the Empire is wanting to, especially the ISB, is doing it on purpose. Right down to the point where when Partagas gives the order and Dedra pulls the trigger, as it were, the Empire guy shoots
Hello,
their own
dubious
guys,
animal.
their own
Welcome
guys,
to the
so that they will
stream.
just start shooting the crowd, and they did that intentionally. You can see that build up to the whole thing of, like, they intentionally brought in young soldiers, green kids.
There's a
who are
lot
in the
of
Imperial Army who are trigger happy, and
spoiler, by the
shooting
way.
indiscriminately based on how scared they are
But
in the situation.
yeah, even
It was
after
an
this,
intentional thing to incite this, and not just through propaganda, but like just to incite this through the actions of their.
even after spoiler, you are still going to love Andor, because when I first saw Andor, I knew everything what would happen, and I still loved it. Watched it 10 times, but the season 1 I watched 10 times. Season 2, I am going through it. I kind of have to, they're releasing 3 episodes in a day every week, and it's hard to just keep up. But yeah, every day I wake up, every time I wake up, I would just sit down and watch it.
Own men is
So
really
I
fucked up,
don't get-
and you see the Gormans sort of standing
I
and getting
can
this, singing the
just
song of, like, this last moment of
talk
dignity
about
and identity,
things.
cultural identity in the face of what happens to them is beautiful, and it doesn't.
The different versions of the show. Versions, I don't understand actually what I'm trying to say. But there are like 2 seasons and a movie, Rogue One, that came out way before the series. So if you want to start, I mean, there are animated shows by Star Wars, but they are different stories. That's not the same. They are like connected universe, but they all have connected universe. But Andor is a story of Cassian Andor, and how, and yeah, and there are movies like episode 4, 5, 6, and episode 1, 2, 3, and then the sequel. The main story is 4, 5, 6. The prequels are 1, 2, 3, and the sequels are 7, 8, 9. And yeah, those are kind of list of the main. That is the main story that happens after Rogue One. All the story of it happens after Rogue One. It's like you will understand the timeline. It's kind of complicated to explain just by talking. So yeah, man, it's very confusing. The connected universe are just very confusing. But if you want to start, if you are like really interested about history and of revolutions and all, Andor is an amazing show. Even if you haven't seen Star Wars, you can watch Andor, because that takes away a lot of things that happen thing, main stuff about Star Wars, but it keeps the main idea of what Star Wars was going for when it first started out. So yeah, and this is the season 2, and it's going really well. I love it.
Doesn't go the route of Detroit Become Human, where it's like, oh, singing saves the day, and everyone gets, finds their soul and decides to not dehumanize these people. That sort of nonsense bullshit. But it is a moment of them like claiming a sense of dignity in this final moment that I'm glad the show gave to them. That I thought was really beautiful, and just again showcases what happens and how dark this is. So yeah, I there's not much more to say other than it's harrowing and dark seeing all these characters that we met even last week just all getting slowly killed, and pretty much all of them except for I think one guy, two people not surviving. Yeah, it's hard, it's dark. And then we also get Willman, who's in this as well, and all sort of, he's like full on radicalized, like I'm gonna do whatever sort of thing. But then even he goes and tries to save the girl that he has feelings for, and he gets hurt for it, as we see in episode 9. And I like that he has this little moment with Cassian where he says, "Remember Ferric, Stone and Sky," and it's sort of an evocation of the
हाँ अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है ठीक I'll be back in a minute. I kind of have to just switch something on. Don't go. I'm back.
the memory of what happened to their people. We don't necessarily know overtly what happened to Ferrix, but presumably they were also genocided as well after their anti-fascist riot at the end of last season. Certainly they were probably put down with heavy force. So yeah, that sort of memory and evocation in this episode is, I think, an important echo of like, this isn't the only genocide or violent action that the Empire has carried out. And it's also, and it's kind of, this is just something I'll sort of allude to that is interesting. I don't think the show sort of outright states this, but it is interesting that like, oh, the genocide that is like the thing that is one step too far that gets called out in the Imperial Senate is like the a more upper class sort of human looking species like the Gormans. Not to say that it's right or good or anything like that, but it's like one of those things like, oh, when it happens to the Gormans, who are relatively upper class, relatively well known in upper class society of the Senate, they have their own senator that's there. That's when it gets noticed. Not necessarily the genocides. If you read any other Star Wars books, there's been plenty of genocides going throughout throughout the Empire, including starting off with the Jedi, but also presumably Ferrix also facing similar stuff. There's some other ones that are alluded to throughout Star Wars history. Usually more alien-looking groups. So there's sort of a subtle sort of underscoring there of like, oh, when it gets closer to the people that have power, who look like the people who have power, then that's when they start to worry. And it reads to me, I'm a trans person. There's that speech that Mon Mothma gives in the next episode, in episode 9, where she says, oh, they will come for you next. And it's like that poem is like, they came for the communists, and then I didn't do anything. Da, da, da. And as a trans person living in America right now, who is one of the first groups on the chopping block right now and trying desperately so often, having been for years, to try to point out like, hey, this, like, you should care what's happening to trans people, despite, and there's been propaganda being pushed against us, lies being pushed against us, trying to like generate consent for our mistreatment and ultimately the ongoing attempted genocide of trans people right now. And if you don't believe that, you can.
By the way, there's a book called Manufacturing Consent by Noam Chomsky that she's referring, sort of referring, I guess, using it as a term.
Fuck off. That you should care about that in its own terms, but like saying like they're using this attack on trans people to attack women generally, not just trans women, but women generally, people of color, so many like Jewish people are alluded to in sort of anti-trans attacks, like, oh, they're the secret people, the cultural people making people trans, they mean Jewish people. So like, yes, it connects to all of these things and they will come for you. If that shouldn't be the reason why you care, but that also should be a reason why you care, because it's not going to just stop at us. So yeah, it just was a thing that made me think about as I was watching this. Yay, this show isn't political in any way. But yes, that does actually bring me to episode 9. Where, again, I love the arc of Cassian being like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. That is a recurring thing throughout these episodes. But I love that it's Mon Mothma being like, I want to do things. And I love the duality of Mon Mothma and Bail Organa here, which, by the way, I guess Bail was showing up more. I did think, I said this in my review, I was like, oh, it's weird that he just shows up as like a weird cameo, especially with a new actor. But it's like, oh, no, he's coming back, so that's why they sort of set it up so you could recognize him going forward. Without being the original actor, Jimmy Schmitz, I believe is his name. Great actor, love him as Bail. Also the new actor, also great. Both do a really good job. But the comparison of like, he's staying. And the reason he kind of seems to stay is he needs to sort of slow things down as a senator, like, push back. But also, there's a presumption of like, he wants to stay so he can still be with Leia. Protect Leia, rightfully so. Though Leia would be, I guess, an adult at this point in the timeline. So I'm curious to see where she would be within all this. I'm sure there's a canon book or something or other around that deals with that. But regardless, still sort of an allusion to that. But also Mon Mothma going on a different path. And he's like, look, I have to say, but you should go. And how those are both brave things, given like he will probably be attacked for staying and she's going to be attacked for going after her making her speech. So I just love the two different types of like bravery there. And it goes to, again, Mon Mothma sort of realizing like, I can't do anything here effectively, and I just want to actually go and lead the rebellion because that's where shit's going down right now. So love all of that. All of this was just thrilling. Like the escape with her, like the slow buildup of the ISB, sort of like the counterintelligence stuff of like, oh, she broke her listening device, which by the way is something that I always think about in shows. I'm glad that it's brought up here because I always see in TV shows or movies where they like break a listening device they found. I'm like, wouldn't the people on the listening device like hear you breaking the listening device or at least recognize that it's down? And I like that becomes a plot point. It's like, oh yeah, that is a problem. She should have probably just left it on and put it somewhere else, or just left it on and knew not to talk around it instead of actually.
Yeah, when she broke that, I was like, somebody's going to listen to it, right? And the Empire finds out. The spies just like someone did something to the listening device. Kind of dumb, I guess, but it kind of, I guess they didn't made a choice. They didn't think through.
Them off, and so it gets them alert. So liked that was actually acknowledged, because it's a trope that always kind of weirds me out a little bit in TV shows and movies. Like, why does no one ever pay attention to that as a problem? So glad that it actually gets brought up here, and how it's, again, used to be counterintelligence, like all these tiny little things, like that's suspicious, okay, maybe something's going on with Mon Mothma.
Okay, oh sorry. So I was saying, when Mon Mothma, the character, finds a listening device in her office, she just breaks it. I don't know, I was thinking, okay, they're gonna find out if they can't hear anything, and it was like that. Somebody noticed that, and that kind of became something that kind of created danger that also she has to run away from. So that was nice.
All leading to her speech and like her not trusting whether she should go with Cassian and trust Luthen, or go with Bail's team, and just like this whole idea of like Luthen just lives so much in secrecy that he's not to be trusted. Also, again, can I just call out I forget her name. I hate myself for it because she's Kayla, Luthen's quote unquote assistant. Though it's very clear at this point, like she's an equal in terms of like she plays the assistant, but she's equal in terms of running things. I think it feels like as like a partner to a degree. She's great. She's so good, and she has such a strong assertive sense about her. Also, her style is amazing. You see her outfits in this episode, awesome. Love her. She's fantastic. But yeah, like Luthen just like Mon Mothma does not trust Luthen because of just the secrecy that's been built out, and like Luthen being kind of, an asshole and an accelerationist, and, willing to, sacrifice people as needed to get what he wants. And again, it's the choice that he made. He's intentionally doing it. You can argue about the overall morality of it, generally speaking, but certainly doesn't win him any friends, and understandably so. And you see that sort of weight throughout these episodes that like causes Mon Mothma pause to just Cassian. And I like, again, like she's kind of shocked at the violence being done. Like she's been sort of isolated from it in a way that like Cassian has not. He just watched a genocide happen, and he has to bear all of that trauma that Mon Mothma sort of gets to be somewhat isolated from as a upper class senator. Not to say that she doesn't care or that her work isn't important in terms of what happens. Clearly it is, but she gets to be isolated from it to a degree. And I like that moment at the end after she does get rescued where Cassian says, like, make it worth it. Go off and be on the Ghost and give your speech on the Ghost in Star Wars Rebels. But yes, it was a really, really great moment. The whole sequence of them escaping was really, and Erskine, her, the person that Mothma did.
I don't think the speech from Star Wars Rebels will be shown a change, because now after the 9th episode there is a time jump for 1 year, and I don't think she would be on a flight for 1 year just to give that speech. Let's see. There are like 3 episodes left. Let's see what
didn't necessarily trust. Who looks like a young Ray Fiennes? Is that just me, or is he related to them? He just looks like Ray Fiennes, like a young Ray Fiennes to me. I don't know why. But yeah, it just looked very. I think it's the lips. It's like his lips look very similar to Ray Fiennes. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm a weirdo in that. Does anyone else think that? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious if anyone sees what I'm saying. But it was just, I like that sort of arc for her and her coming in terms of like, yes, he was actually helping me. She did come across as a bit of an asshole, but I understand emotionally she's dealing with a lot, so it comes up. It reads fine for her character of like the sense of distrust and she feels. But yes, she did come across as a bit of an asshole, even though it reads true and understandable and creates a good arc for her throughout the episode that she gets to with accepting him and understanding that he was trying to do what was best for her. Editing Jesse here, because there was a thing that I forgot, because there's so much good in these episodes. I actually forgot to talk mainly about Mon Mothma's speech, so look at me in my pajamas while I do this. But it's really awesome to see that speech about like truth and how so many people are yelling and we lost a sense of what is true and sort of collective understanding of events because they are being reframed by the Empire. And I really, really thought that it was a really great speech. It reminds me a lot of the wonderful sort of ending monologue from Chernobyl, where like every lie incurs a debt to the truth. And it just speaks to our reality today, right? Like there's so much noise and so many people putting out lies and different alternate versions of reality that is often meant to try to villainize people, to set people against each other, to dehumanize people. I, as a trans person, very much feel that right now. And so that speech sort of really gets at the heart of that. And she points it right at like the person who is speaking the loudest is Palpatine, which is just a wonderful point because, he doesn't even appear in the show. He doesn't say a word in this show. And yet it's all through his propaganda and the machine that the Empire has built in his name that it's being done. And certainly like he is the only person who is not a victim of this. Like every single person, including all the fascists from Vader to Dedra to whoever are victims in this. Doesn't mean they're not also culpable, as someone like Vader is, who is executing mass genocide, or Dedra as well. But he is the one who ultimately benefits from all this machinery and just speaks to that authoritarianism. And there's a part of me, as someone who's like, yes, it's not one, like, it's a lot of this is the system in Andor is very good about showing how these systems of imperialism work and how they all sort of function together. And I'm very much like, we attack the system because, if you tear down the Palpatine, there'll always be another Palpatine.
Somebody. It's not for somebody. They think it's their interest, but kind of just follow orders from somebody up above them. And yeah, Palpatine is the top guy who just gives everybody orders. But why does he do what he wants to do? I don't know. I haven't seen like the prequel series, so I have to watch someday. But I'm kind of just thinking, maybe one day I'll watch it.
Palpatine to take his place, as we have see with like then the First Order, but even in real life, you take down a Trump, they still haven't addressed the underlying systems, they'll make another Trump, that sort of thing. But that being said, that is not the point ultimately Mon Mothma is making. She's making a political calculus of talking towards Palpatine. And also, if we're talking about like general Star Wars stuff, like she does ultimately, like her speech in Rebels, if you go and watch her speech in Rebels that she says right after this is like she wants to restore the Republic. She's going to take new action to restore the Republic, I think is her exact line. So she's like trying to restore the Republic, which is still the system that led to all of this. But that's my other element of politics in this coming out. Ultimately, is a very good speech just in terms of like this talking about truth and who's yelling and all of that, that's pointed towards today and feels very much pointed towards today. But also fits very well within the political calculus that Mon Mothma is making it as a politician, pointing it right at Palpatine and sending that anger at him to elucidate support for her rebellion. So very smart on very many levels for that speech. So yeah, all of this was excellent. Like, leading up to the end of the episode, where again I already talked about Bix's stuff for the most part, but it was emotionally effective. Even if I don't really love it as a trope and a placement for women within stories, it is an effective beat, and it got me choked up for what it was. And so it's like the best version of a thing I don't like is probably the best way to put it. And then we get to see K2 wake up, and it's like, oh good, I get to replace my girlfriend with my droid buddy. Very fascinating too. If you just listen to what the original pitch for Andor was before Tony Gilroy came back on board, there was like a pitch that Kathleen Kennedy was talking about at some point. Like, it was just gonna be Andor and K2 running around for a few seasons, just having adventures fighting the Empire. Before Tony Gilroy made it more what it is now. So it's just kind of funny. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get that for like the last 3 episodes here, presumably. So yeah, just interesting. I'm curious to see what the last 3 episodes are gonna be leading into Rogue One. Like I said, the only thing I will dislike, and I have a hard feeling that it's going to be the case, but it does not mean I'll like hate all the episodes, but it's just a choice that it feels like it's gonna happen is like we're gonna lead up to Rogue One, and then as the Rogue One's happening, and then we'll go and like Bix will visit Cassian's grave or whatnot, and that's the only time we'll see Bix. Like, please don't let it be the only time we see Bix the next 3 episodes. I have a feeling it won't be, but I presume it will be. Ultimately, these were 3 amazing episodes, especially episode 8 and 9. I mean, 7 is necessary as a good build up to them, but 8 and 9 in particular are just amazing television. I think some of the best Star Wars can be. Those 2 episodes are right up there, especially episode 8, though different emotionally, right up there with.
I think everybody who watches Star Wars agree that yeah, Andor is the best of the best, and there's no show or no movie better than it. It's just the thing, and it's funny how it's about it came from a movie that was like a spin-off movie to fill a plot hole and to fill a plot hole they made the whole movie, and now from that movie the second lead was Andor, and they made a show about him, and it became the best show anybody can see. It just blows my mind. Story about a side character is the best show. It's kind of, I guess, direct. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think it came down to just the executives not worrying about much, because they thought, okay, and it's Andor. Who is going to watch Andor? They just wanted to put out show for Disney Plus, and Tony Gilroy was okay. Just give me this much amount of money. They said yes, okay, take it, and we just made it. Nobody was like, let's do this story or something, or maybe some test audience or anything. It's kind of, actually, do you know that there were few people who went to the premiere of the show and they saw the whole season, like first 12 episodes for this second season. They saw it whole, and like, how did they take it? Like, it's so hard. The show takes time to process, and watching like 12 episode, like maybe 3 days. It was 3-day premiere or something, and yeah, but I mean, you can't get anything better than this. I think it's above Breaking Bad for me. I mean, it is about a revolution. It's about, there's so much things that, yeah, there are heavy subjects, I mean, it's Star Wars, so there a fascist government who does a lot of things. It's surprising that there hasn't been any. And Banarsi is just a city I was raised in. Everybody was. So for me, when I made that name, it was like everybody was putting their city they were born in or raised in somewhere, and guy or boy or something. So I did that, but after that I saw nobody was doing that for my city, because it's not a very major city, at least that when I made that, it wasn't a major city, so kind of put it everywhere. Oh, okay. Where are you from? What country? United States, unfortunately. Okay. Other. You are from the Empire, man. Live. Bye. Canada. Yeah, man. The US is just going through an up and down cycle. I watched like the US, what's happening in US. I'm like, oh my god.
You know, Narkina 5 and the series finale also of season 1, as well as the Aldani heist. Like, I feel like the Mon Mothma.
I guess Canada is like free to travel from US, right? Is it still after the like tariffs and all? Like anybody could have just gone to Canada. Okay, okay. Yeah, honestly, even those who are making the decision don't know what's going on. The tariff, like film industry, and nobody knows how will that work. Then, like, foreign films will be 100% tariff. Like, how will you apply that? Like, is it for theaters? Is it for DVDs? Like, is it for the if somebody shoots a movie in Europe and comes back, shoots half a movie in America, does he pay half the tariff? It's very confusing right now. They just announced it, don't know what that means. They'll figure it out later. So that's, I mean, good.
Episode is very similar to like the tonally of the Aldani heist. It feels very good, like similar to that. Whereas the Gorman episode feels much more like its own thing, but stands just as much as a work of art alongside the Narkina 5 episode and the series finale of last year. It doesn't give me the rah, yeah, let's punch some Nazis and workers' rights and class consciousness. It's more like, man, yeah, this is what genocide looks like and how it's built consent for. Also, I just ran to mention Cyril's mom getting the tears at the end and like her watching the Fox News of it all. And, you just leave with this impression that like, oh yeah, she probably believes this, like her son got killed by the Empire and she's going to be one of those, people who are just like, oh, the Empire did nothing wrong, even though it's got her son killed. Yeah. So just a small note there. But yeah, these are fantastic. I'm sure I've missed a couple things here and there. I'm talking about 3 episodes of TV in one video right off the top of my head after having just watched them. So forgive me if there's a thing or two that I missed. But yeah, these were phenomenal, amazing, just peak TV, peak Star Wars.
By the way, that speaker behind her, I was like, really, I wish I had speakers like that, man. These white speakers. Okay, wait, if there's a speaker, there should be usually PC, right? Okay. Why is the table so small? I like that pillow. Is she? Just a gender is girl. Woman. The pillows are really nice. It's cool, man. I wish I had that multiple eye pillow. Okay, there's like a lot of things in the room. So many books.
I absolutely adored it. What did you think, though? I'd love to hear all your thoughts. Did you think Erskine looked like Ray Fiennes? What do you think about genocide or Star Wars Rebels? These are all topics that came up in this video because Star Wars.
It reminded me of Philip DeFranco when you talk about some a big topic and just happily say. So, what are your opinions of it? Do you like it or not? Okay. Like fucked up things you said, talked about, but okay. Uh, na, 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 na. It's somebody else make a video. Yeah, yeah. I had regular video. I saw one video about James Gunn from her. That was like 3 hours, which is, I mean, Jesse Gender is one of the best video essayists I've seen, and I watch a video. They are very insightful, and there are few video essays that I just see the whole video. If I start it, I'll one day end it. And like FD Signify, Jesse Gender, and yeah, they're really cool. And Noah Samson, they're like fun. You get a lot of insight. You understand a lot of things. There's this video by Xart. By the way, and there's a trick called, if you just put this underscore pop up after the watch, it just opens like this,
Man, those are some dark episodes of TV. We're talking Andor Season 2, Episodes 7, 8, and 9 on today's video. Full spoilers, of course. I don't really know how I'm going to do this. Like, Andor is not a show for YouTubers to talk about. Yeah, I could mention that K2SO's backstory previously established in a comic was retconned, or that Melshi was back. Hey, he's in Rogue One, but really, who cares? You know, like many of you guys, I've got cell phone brain, so often when I'm watching a show or hockey, whatever, I'm distracted and doing something else. Not with Andor. These 3 episodes, especially the first 2, kept me locked in. The 8th episode of the season, featuring the Gorman Massacre in particular, was dreadful. It was terrible, but in a good way. Obviously, we've known it was coming, but it was very different. To see is evil. She's a self-serving authoritarian, but she's still got a shred for power's sake. Dedra, too, like a lot of people, was used and spit out, and that's, I think, why it's so appropriate at the end of it all, the last, that they knew where she was going to be. They could have sent troops up there, but not really a big deal. The intrigue and the different into. So it's got to be the greater.
There's behind the scenes, actually. I haven't seen this. A lot of work goes.
Because we know where we're going to end with this coalition of revolutionaries in Rogue One, there's 1 or 2 canonical moments: the massacre at Gorman and Mon Mothma's leaving the Senate, making her speech. You know, those are on the calendar. Those are things we have to deal with.
All those connections with all the stories we've heard before. This is the season that delivers that.
In these 3 episodes, you really feel the genuine weight of rebellion.
She's like amazing actor, man. This is Mon Mothma, and like beautiful performance. The whole show. I mean, everybody has an amazing performance. She, with the things she have to just show through her face is like.
Sorry to keep you waiting. The Emperor has taken a great interest in the situation.
There were mass curfew violations last night and rumors of a general strike.
They made this set. They actually made this set. So what happens in Mandalorian is like they have like a small they have a small room called the volume, and they kind of shoot everywhere there. And let me just show you.
While filming this scene from Disney's The Mandalorian, the actors could see their surroundings, but the surroundings weren't actually there. All of this is just LED screens, displaying backgrounds pre-made in...
Yeah, so this is the set for Mandalorian. So thanks for following, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that. So for it just follows the camera. When the camera moves, it moves, and it's all done in Unreal Engine. So Mandalorian did it like that. But one of the problem that came out with it a lot of the time, when others used it, or sometimes even in Mandalorian, the place, yeah, it would be so cool. The place didn't seem that real in camera, so that was an issue in Mandalorian. That was very that was taking people out sometimes, and they couldn't do a lot in the background. Like in Andor, you will see there is like a crowd here. You will see when you see the show, there's crowd here and so much. You can't do that in like a small screen room. So they actually built every set so they can just go around, and they have like one take shots of things just to sort of flex that. Look, we made this. Look, we made this scene. Made this set.
We are moving forward with the original plan.
In the main plaza, there's so many stories happening at the same
Yeah, so
time.
this crowd you can't show.
It's not just like suddenly there's chaos. It's slowly cooking. There is a plan, always.
We are the goal. The galaxy is watching.
Jan Miles was our editor on that episode, and that was a very complicated thing. There's a lot of moving pieces. Things like this, you're putting them together as quickly as they're being shot. You're sort of tacking these together and seeing what you need. It's components, and you're putting...
By the way, if anybody ever drunk and they came into that this room
in a video game engine.
And
compare that with this fight
it is
scene
so
from Avengers Endgame,
so weird,
where
right?
actors jumped around in a sea of green, imagining how VFX artists would make this planet look once filming had ended. The Mandalorian is one of the first major productions to...
Also, it worked on Mandalorian because in Mandalorian he had a like reflective suit. So if it was green, then the whole reflective thing would have been green. So that's why it kind of worked in Mandalorian, because it can reflect the light from the screen and all, which is just easier to do in post production. I mean, the pre-production it increases. Now you have to make the whole scene before you shoot it. But I guess that's a That's the thing they have to deal
Putting
with.
those components together,
somehow.
building and building and building, and finally, they just take shape.
We thought of the massacre as its own sound, musical sound. This idea of these bending, distorted basses and cellos. Tony coined the term doom bends. We want to create this simmering, this long, slow burn. And so we started with just one of these doom bends. Then there'd be space and maybe a hit, and then there'd be another one.
In Gorman, we used the camera droids. We'd seen these before, never as a practical effect. We'd seen them as a digital effect in the prequels.
I will take what Jedi we have left and go to Geonosis and help Obi-Wan.
So it was really great to bring those to life.
Reinstated for the entire city. Local leaders are urging harm.
A peaceful demonstration. Local insurgents spread rumors through the night and have organized this highly volatile insurrection you see behind me now.
How Cyril goes down, that was really fun to build and really fun to write and very difficult to watch because it's really freaking wild and painful.
What have you done? Everything he ever thought he believed in, trusted in, is shaken to its core.
This guy is also really good.
How
His
he moves on from
performance
there
is
is really the truest expression of Cyril. Everything that he has just experienced with Dedra and Rylance and the whole season 2 is just coming out in this God, this guy, I can't believe, at this moment, you're finally showing up.
The moment of Cyril and Cassian meeting, we've been waiting for that moment to happen, and it has to be worth it. Action. We worked on that choreography for quite a long time.
And if it gives a little bit more on this impact in your body, it just gives a little bit more.
That moment, it means so much to him.
When you grab me, just put me there.
And you have Cassian survive.
That fight scene you just saw, that was, I mean, there was a lot of fight scenes just show martial arts or anything, and there isn't that. It's just them just fighting, punching it out.
Driving and going, "Wow, get away from me, who are you?" That kind of thing. And Cyril just keeps coming back.
One of the great things I actually have always loved about him is he follows through where no one else will. And he just follows through to the end.
And seeing these people, I mean, that's the only thing they can do is sing their national anthem. It's the emotional lever. In the middle of that riot, Tony and Nick Patel wrote that.
Lazine, Terry Goddard's character, starts singing.
It's kind of cool that I've heard one thing about languages, that when you make a new language, it's really difficult to act with it, to acting. So that was an issue in Game of Thrones, that a lot of actors just were more focused on saying things, and it was really difficult to act in it. So in this, what I think great thing that they did was they sort of made the language inspired by an already existing language. So it was completely inspired by French, and they hired all the French actors. So it becomes easy to just for them to act in it. And yeah, they kind of solved that problem. I don't know if they knew that problem happens, but hopefully I guess. Tony Gilroy is amazing at making things. So.
In the main square. And he starts singing, and then someone else starts singing. You feel more a sense of community in that way when you feel it build than having it happen all at once. The building of that music and those voices in a crowd and making the physics of it right. The line producer, David Beante, and the ADs and everybody,
nice.
And then mixing it as well, really built it out so that it's like a little kindling. It's like a little flame that starts there, and it goes through the whole crowd, and people in the back of the crowd aren't even aware of what's happening in the beginning, and then they're all joining in.
special effects team is there every day with us, shooting, spending the time, reacting to the little stuff.
Thank you. Well done, everybody. We're doing 6 KX units that are brought to Gorman by the Imperials.
The first big
Okay,
introduction.
yeah, these droids were amazingly powerful. I mean, they were scary, and they were just throwing people out, and the people were just dying and punching. One punch was killing everybody, and that was just wow. That was very OP, I must say.
To the KX is coming out. As an all-in-one shot, we had her thrown through the air from the start position, hit the floor, and slide without ever cutting away.
And there is something that needs to happen, right? Cassian needs to find his friend. And the way it happens is quite special.
People have had to be very patient, but the promise always was, well, when we bring it, we're gonna bring it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the numbers? The Gorman dead? It's beyond belief. We need to speak out. We need to stand up.
Okay,
and
that's a
speak the
real
truth.
building this shot in.
So we're currently in Spain. This is called the CAC. It's like a...
And yeah, they shoot on location. They said they were kind of just not doing everything in post-production.
Cultural Arts and Sciences Centre designed by Calatrava. Calatrava's architecture offers something that we can not only build on in terms of our stage sets, but also kind of embrace as an upper Coruscant look. Well, this stretch that I'm in now is at one end of what we're calling a Senate Plaza, with the Senate building at one end and the Senate offices at the other. And so it really helps us kind of stitch together the geography of the exterior Senate.
We are in crisis. The distance between what is said
Shut it down.
and what is known to be true has become an abyss.
With that speech, we get to the mom that I'm deeply interested in, which is the emergence of a leader.
The death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil.
And it's intercut with Cassian trying to find her, and there's other stuff going on.
You need the sequence key.
So let's have it.
We took it up to the security office yesterday.
Because it's
Like, this is such a like, he don't have a big role, but he still was like, he had his veins out. He was so stressed. He was like,
Andor, there's
and the side actors were like, okay, let's do my
many
best.
levels to one scene. Tony said to me, would you like me to write the whole speech? And I said, yes, please. I would love you to write the whole speech. And I will just learn the whole speech. And then you can cut and use whatever you want. But I want to give that speech. And he did. To stand and give the whole speech, that is something that I will remember forever. It meant something to me for all these years, having the wonderful opportunity to play her.
The monster who will come for us all soon enough is Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
Senator.
And these are like the concept paintings. I really want the art
I've
book
been working
for
with
this.
Genevieve in this show for so
That would
long
be still
without
really cool
having the
to
opportunity to
see
actually
and-
interact. And as an actor, it's amazing to reconnect these two characters.
At the beginning of Rogue One, where Mon Mothma introduces Cassian Tujin, she just says, this is Captain Cassian Andor from Rebel Intelligence. I just go, wow, imagine now doing that. What it would be. I love the sinew that we've created that will reach out over the past to link up.
Stand down, everyone!
I'm not sure I can do this.
Welcome to the rebellion.
That was amazing line. I've
What are you doing?
And with Cassian's journey, now it's the move to being a leader, even moving beyond a leader then to becoming a hero.
You. All that you've been gathering. The strength of spirit.
Surely he must feel it.
And then Bix and her sacrifice.
We have to win. We have to beat them.
And cut. Very good. Almost good, thank you. Lovely.
She knows that if she stays, we're gonna be in this loop of destruction forever.
I'm choosing the rebellion.
He has to understand that in any revolution, it's about succeeding, you know? It's not about you anymore. You have to be willing to bring that sacrifice.
They're getting ready to power up the droid you brought in. The KX unit?
When we leave Block 3, when you're laying it out and you're looking, it actually can line up. When Bix leaves him, K2 can be arriving. And so it's really going to mean something.
Oh man, I love this show.
3, 2, 1.
K2SO. I love being that character again. Working with Alan was fabulous. It's going to be quite a thing for those who love Rogue One.
Oh, it's just amazing to see, man, how it was made. Locations they went to. It's beautiful. It's 7. I said, unfortunately, I have to leave now. But thank you for being here. I need to get some tea from outside. Okay, man. See ya. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a good time, and I hope it felt really, really nice. I'll see you. What day is today? See you tomorrow. Yeah, it was fun. It was nice to have you here. Bye.